In 1941, the world believed Nazi Germany was unstoppable. Europe was crushed, armies were shattered, and Hitler's war machine looked invincible. Every move seemed calculated, every victory decisive. But there was one decision that quietly sealed Germany's fate. A decision driven not by strategy, but by arrogance. When Adolf Hitler turned his eyes eastward, he believed the Soviet Union would collapse in weeks. He called it a fragile state, led by fear, held together by propaganda. His generals warned him Russia was vast. The winters were brutal, supply lines would stretch beyond control. But Hitler ignored them. He had never lost before. In June 1941, Operation Barbarossa began, the largest invasion in human history. Millions of soldiers crossed into Soviet territory. At first, everything went according to plan. Entire Soviet divisions were surrounded. Cities fell rapidly. German confidence exploded. They believed the war in the East was already won. But what Germany failed to understand was this. The Soviet Union did not fight like the nations Germany had already defeated. The land itself resisted. Roads turned into mud. Distances swallowed fuel and supplies. And as winter arrived, reality hit hard. German troops were unprepared. Engines froze. Weapons jammed. Soldiers wrapped themselves in blankets taken from dead civilians just to survive the cold. Meanwhile, Soviet factories were being dismantled and moved thousands of kilometers east beyond German reach. Production didn't stop. It increased. New tanks rolled out. New soldiers arrived. Losses that would have broken other nations were replaced again and again. German commanders began reporting something disturbing. The enemy was not collapsing. It was learning. Every battle made the Soviet forces stronger. Every mistake Germany made was studied and punished. Then came Stalingrad, a city that became a symbol of pride, obsession, and destruction. Hitler demanded it be taken at all costs. The fighting turned into a nightmare. Street by street, room by room. Winter returned, harsher than ever. German supply lines were cut. The once confident army was surrounded, starving, freezing, abandoned. When the German Sixth Army finally surrendered, it shocked the world. This was not just a defeat. It was a psychological collapse. For the first time, Germany had lost an entire army. From that moment on, the war changed direction. The Soviet counteroffensive pushed west. German forces were forced into retreat after retreat. The myth of invincibility was gone. Hitler still refused to accept reality. He demanded no retreats, no withdrawals. His generals watched in silence as impossible orders destroyed what remained of Germany's strength. By 1944, the Red Army was unstoppable. Cities once conquered by Germany were liberated one after another. Berlin itself was now within reach. What Germany had thought would be a quick victory had turned into a war of exhaustion it could never win. In the end, it wasn't one battle that destroyed Nazi Germany. It was one mistake repeated over and over, underestimating an enemy's will to survive. The Eastern Front consumed Germany's best soldiers, its resources, and its time. Time it didn't have. When Berlin finally fell, the truth was undeniable. The war had been lost years earlier, the moment Germany chose arrogance over reality. History teaches a brutal lesson. Power means nothing without understanding, and no empire survives the war it believes it has already won.